it's just a financially led decision that we felt we had no choice on. So the club's got no revenue coming in whatsoever at the moment. We're not playing any games. We can't sell our season tickets, which we would normally be doing this time of year. And so we've felt we've had no choice now but to look at where we can cut costs. So sadly, one of the places you look is if there's contracts running out and whether you choose to renew them or not. And as I say, it's a shame, but for these players, their contracts were running out and we're not in a position to renew them. If we renewed them, I couldn't guarantee we'd be able to fulfil them, which I will never do that.
And in your statement yesterday, you said that you'd have loved to have kept them under normal circumstances. So just how tough was it to let them go? Yeah,
very difficult. I mean, they're more than just good players. You know, you look at someone like Luke Pross, who's the club captain. He's been fantastic as a captain. You've got big characters like Frank and Ryan. You know, they're great characters at the club, and it would have been a no-brainer to renew them. But sadly, we're not in that situation. So, they would have helped us, obviously, with our push, because we're still hoping that we can get promoted. We're in 6th position. We've got a great chance of being in the playoffs. And, you know, with those players, we would have had an even better chance of getting through that and, you know, maybe a great day at Wembley and getting promoted. So it's not an easy decision at all.
Yeah, and I was going to say that because it does weaken you, doesn't it? There's no sort of beating around the bush there. They're really good players for this level. So that must have been hard to let them go in that respect as well.
Yeah, 3 of the players have been like first names on the sheets, you know, this season. And Brandon Comley as well. He's played a big part in the whole season. So, yeah, I mean, you know, I can understand people's disappointment, but we can't just think of the here and now and gambling again that clubs have done. We've got to look further forward than that and try to protect the club, you know, for its future.
And that gamble you talked about, if you had have kept them, would that have put the club at a bit of jeopardy? Was that part of your thinking as well?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, how can you, you know, listen, in simplest terms, you don't go out to the supermarket and put stuff in your trolley you can't afford. And we can't go agree into contracts that the club has no way of knowing that it's going to be able to pay for them in the future.
Yeah, and young players will let go as well. A lot of them come through the academy and you've had to release them. You know, a word for them as well.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. I mean, this is always a difficult time of year because it's a time of year when you do often release young players. And for that reason, it's never very nice. This year, there's probably some that we've let go that we wouldn't normally. You know, we've got players like Louis Dunn have been with us since he's 9 years old. Cameron James, he's been with us as long. So these are boys that don't know nothing else but playing football at Colchester United. So decisions like this are tough at the best of times, and these are nowhere near the best of times. It's going to be difficult for those poor boys as well. So clubs are getting it really tough at the moment. At the moment, the sympathies with clubs, we've got it hard, but there needs to be a lot of people understanding that these players at League 2 level, they're not on a fortune. They might, you know, they're not what people think they are. And they've got families, and it's going to be very tough for them. So it's a shame to be someone that's making those decisions that I have to do.
Yeah, and I guess it's an indication of the financial pressures that you're under this, you know, during this pandemic. I mean, how tough has it been for Colchester United?
Yeah, again, I can't describe really that if there's no money coming in whatsoever, and clubs have big overheads. We have a lot going out every month, so it's been difficult. The club is part of a group of companies that I own, okay, and although the club's not profitable, the group is. So the club relies on the profits made by my other businesses, but I don't have profits coming into them businesses either at the moment, and I don't know when I will. So it's not like I can make a decision thinking we'll just find the money from elsewhere in the group, because those businesses are having to struggle too.
Yeah, and how much longer can you keep the club afloat like this? I mean, it's not a sustainable situation in the long term, I presume.
No, it's certainly not in the long term. I mean, we know we've just paid the salaries for everybody in all of my businesses for April. We've got staff, including the players now, on furlough, but we're topping everybody up to 100%. We know we're going to be able to do similar in May. We've got the money there to do that. June gets tougher. It starts to get tougher as we go forward, seeing what there is. There's been some good news recently, it seems, you know, with people potentially being allowed to do a little bit more, which just gives an idea that we may be able to get to playing football again, I don't know, July, August. So knowing them things is going to really help the club. So I think we have to take almost every day as it comes. You know, every day you really look, hoping there'd be some vaccine that's ready or tests that are going to help, or just measures being loosened. You know, so it's really a matter of waiting and seeing. And I think if you look too far ahead, it does frighten you. So you just got to look as far ahead as you can and plan for the best.
Yeah. And I guess the main priority, you'd love promotion, of course you would, but you want Colchester United to still be here in a year's time, 10 years' time, don't you?
Yeah, we do. And listen, we're still going to be very, very competitive. I've got probably 13 names I could give you that would go on our team sheet still. And if we got promoted, would probably still be considered as good players in the league above. So we've still got a very good squad. We haven't quite hoisted the white flag up yet. The other teams are also, we're not going to suddenly go back into the league and everyone else is full strength either. We're just one of the first clubs to announce it, so we could give our players a little bit of ample warning. So when we do start playing again, we're going to be up against weakened side too. So I think we'll still be really competitive, and I'm still really hopeful we can finish the season and it can end up being a good one. It would be a great shame for those players that have been such a big part not to be a part of that too. But let's see what unfolds.
And finally, as you said there, you're really the first club to take this step. Do you think other clubs are going to follow suit as well? Is this going to happen a lot in League One and League Two?
Yeah, I think the decisions have been made elsewhere. We were just the first ones to actually go and announce it. So what I did, I spoke to the more senior players, the ones we've been mentioning in the first team. I spoke to them about what was happening. They were great. They understood. They, of course, want to look to move on and try to sort themselves out jobs going forward. So I did say that once I could, I would make an announcement so people are aware that they're available, and with all the other young lads too. So we've just done it sooner because we think it's the right thing to do. Other clubs are going to do it their way and release the news as they go. But I think there's about 800 players that are likely to be released soon.